Howdy, this is Rodfather 916, and today I'm going to talk about love and confidence. This is all related to dating, and I'm going to do this in two parts. One for those under 40, and one for those over 40. Throughout our lives, we're tested. When you're young, this is your first test. I'm in my 60s, and the difference between you and someone my age is just we've had more experiences. We've had a lot of disappointments. We know at the end of the day it's going to be okay. But because you haven't had this experience, it's devastating. And I remember being 20 thinking, this is it. My life is done. She left me. First things first. It is normal to be attracted to something shiny. Think of it as a car. People are attracted to cars like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. But the reality is, most of us end up with a Honda, Ford, or Toyota. Doesn't mean anything about anything. And doesn't mean because you're driving a short, your life is any different than the person driving a Ferrari, other than he has higher cost. I date, and I still make mistakes. And like you, I'm attracted to shiny things. But I want someone deeper than something materialistic or shiny, and I want something more. And I'm old enough to tell the difference. But the most important thing I want to convey to you on this YouTube is before you start dating, you need to have confidence because you're going to be tested and tested and tested. You're going to make mistakes. If you haven't heard this before, let me be the first person to tell you. You're going to make mistakes, but you need to have confidence, and that will mean you have standards. We're always tested. If you do this for me, I will be your friend. Remember that? It's like that later. You'll be tested by a man and woman in your life will say, do this to me. If you love me, you'll do this for me. You need to have the confidence to say no. You have the confidence to walk away. I didn't say it wasn't going to be painful, but you need to have the confidence to know what you need when you need it. The confidence to know that who you are right now and how you look right now is okay. If that person wants you to look like Drake, then they should have dated somebody who looks like Drake. If he needs you to be like Kim Kardashian or Cardi B, then that's who you should have dated. He's picked you, and you shouldn't feel lesser than because that's what he wants. It means he's not for you. Because I assure you, once you do things to make yourself look like that person, he's leaving anyway. Sorry. Just gonna keep it real with you. You need to have the confidence to say, no, I'm not loaning you money. I need this money to live on. Because the money you give him is not going to make him love you or her make you love her any more or any less. And it'll make you feel like you're not being used. So you have to have the confidence to say no. And if they say, well, then you don't love me, you have to be confident to say, I do, but not that way. And if you want to leave, you need to have acceptance. You deserve someone to treat you well. You shouldn't put up with someone who's going to cheat at you. It's not a good feeling. Ask anybody who's been cheated on. Maybe your own mom or your father's being cheated on. It's not a good feeling. And the earlier that you know it's happening, the better it is to leave. Because the longer you leave, the more attached you'll. And that's a hole in your heart. Ask someone who's been cheated on for a long time. There are people who stay married because at least I have somebody, but is that a life? I'm not judging it. I'm saying, is that a life? Is that a life you want for yourself? To know that the person you're with is not going to be faithful to you. Never has, never will. But at least you have a home together and kids. Is that enough? So your confidence is so important, how you look, because there's pressure on you right now, and even on some people over 40, to look like people look on TV, and all those people are artificial. I was watching a Housewives, I think it was Miami. They looked awful. They've had so much look, and look like they've all went to the same surgeon. Big lips, plump chicks. They didn't look like people. The person, this is my face. I'm not doing anything to it, I don't think, but I'm not going to do it for you. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. But if you have someone who says, you need to get this, need to make these bigger, you need to make certain things larger, that's not the person for you, because there may never ever be enough. Make sense? Okay, let's move on. In the quest of being a couple, having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, sometimes we rush into things too quickly. The world is littered. You know people who've been in relationships too quickly. For the women, I have a challenge, because you meet some men or boys who are 19 years old and say, we should have a baby together because his friend has a baby together. Forget that friend and that his friend and his girlfriend not making out. It hits him. Men do it too. Like, I think I want a baby and I love you. And if you love me, you'll have my baby. So for women, specifically women, I want to challenge you. The next time you're in a mall, the next time you're in a Target or Walmart, I want you to look at all the men under 35 with their child alone. And then look at the women with their child alone. Is that the life you want? Only you know. In this rush to be in a relationship, to be a couple, to have a girlfriend, to have a boyfriend, you may feel the need to move in together. I suggest before you even consider that, you know this person at least a year or two. You need to know if they pay their bills. You need to know their lifestyle, how mature they are in terms of paying their bills. Not a person who's had 5 or 6 jobs over the last 2 years. You want someone who's been working for several years, particularly if this is somebody you're considering living the rest of your life with. How he spends his money, how she spends her money. Because that's going to be a problem. The real truth is, while TV infidelity is sexy on TV, somebody cheated on somebody else, but most families struggle with money. He had to have new rims for his car, so there's no formula for the baby. Thing is, he's always been that way. So you're having the same argument you had with him before you ever had a child with him. So you decided to have a child with him and thought it was going to be different. Or she likes to look good. She has to have her nails done no matter what. She has to look good. So certain bills gone unpaid. All of those issues become your issues collectively. Because the landlord doesn't care who the money comes from. The rent is due on the 1st. The car payment, the credit cards, they don't care who ran short and who had to have that cute skirt. See, the danger years for young people is between 18 and 27, because he or she has been waiting their entire life to turn 21. They didn't realize the full impact, nobody does, of having a child. So he wants to party, so does she. Particularly if they have friends to a party who wants to stay home and watch the baby when the clubs are open. He wants to see if he still got it. She wants to know if she can drop it like it's hot. Boy, is that an old expression. Not ready for a baby. Didn't really anticipate that because you haven't had the life experience. I'm not talking down to you. I'm just saying you haven't had the experience. I've been to a billion clubs. Still go to clubs. Don't judge me. But that's reality. So someone having a baby, you hear the wives, where is he? I need someone to watch baby so I can be with my friends. Before you listen to the Rod Father and all these things, look around. You may have older sisters, aunts, uncles. Maybe your mom was a young parent. It's a difficult time. And the younger you are, the younger you have a child, the more your dreams are going to be put on hold. That child needs you. And so school is going to be difficult. And males are not mean or reckless. They're just males at that age. They want to do all the things, and so do you. So look, talk to people. Don't get caught up in hope. Hope will get you in a lot of trouble. There are women who hook up with men who have 8 baby mamas, but they hope they will be different. And then they just become another baby mama that he's not paying child support for, not visiting. And now you have to compete with other baby mamas. How do you ask somebody who does that how they feel? That they have to find an opening to take their child to see the father. And if he's a kid, he's got a good 10, 15 minutes he wants to spend with his kids, and the rest of the time he wants to be with his boys. Is this every man? Absolutely not. I got married very, very young. I was 23. I wanted a kid. I was at home. But I also wanted to party. The good thing about we didn't have kids early. So we got to party together, from coast to coast. But having a kid, it's not going to make him closer. It's not going to make him love you better. And you don't want the kid to be punished because he knows if you're hurting. She knows if you're hurting. So give that some thought. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I want to wait until we get married. I want to see how stable and how you pay your bills before we commit. Again, ask your friends, what kind of life are they living? Your good friends will tell you the truth. Okay, let's move on to those over 40. This won't be as long. For those men and women over 30, I didn't do it. I'm not the person who cheated on you. I'm not the person who played on you. I'm not the person who disappointed you. This all happened when you were younger, when you didn't know any better. So stop looking for clues or similarities to your husband or to your wife. Why don't you just try to get to know me? I'm not the evil person here. We make life hard. It's normal to be protective after we've been hurt by somebody, after we've been disappointed by somebody. But you're not going to be available if you're carrying that anger. And you need to find a fault in the person you're dating. The minute they have a similarity, you go, ooh, just like my ex. Just like my ex. You need to exhale. She didn't leave you, your wife did. She didn't cheat with your best friend. That was your ex-wife. Stop being angry. You're smarter now. You're not 21 when you married her. You're not 18 when you had your first baby. You're smarter. That's what time suggests. Open up your heart. You know not to give me any money, not to pay my bills. You know that's not the way to love. See, to both groups, I'm still learning. I'm still dating. When we talk about standards, I remember a date I was on before COVID. And the person I went with ordered medium rare, and what they got was medium well. Went off on a waitress. Big scene. Stupid. You heard what I said. Do you speak language, whole 9 yards? Check. Because my standard is, I don't do scenes. Those are my standards. If you need to yell and you can't control yourself on the first date when you're trying to make an impression and have that person like you, and you're screaming, making a scene, I'm not tolerating that, because it doesn't get better. That's what 60 plus years have taught me. It doesn't get better. Despite all my love and affection, because I don't yell and scream at people. That's not my scene. And I don't want to be part of yours if that's yours. Nice to see you. I hope you find love. Find someone who, I don't say that, but I want to say, I hope you find someone who tolerates your madness. I don't do that. It takes time to get past those wounds. Men are worse. Women have them. This is where men are a little worse, because they've been hurt deeply. They want to take care of a woman, to be the king of the castle and make things all right, and it didn't go well. And some men are very angry and bitter, and they say women's is just objects, not to be trusted. I think you're going to have a tough way. Open up your heart. You are smarter now. Life is wonderful if you make it. We can all get better. We can all improve if we want to. Because part of just living and breathing is we're going to make mistakes. So I'm going to end here. Again, I'd like to hear what you have to say. I'm not an expert. This has just been my experience and through observations. So if you want to argue with me and tell me where I'm wrong, I'm here. If you like what I heard and you want to expand on that, or you want me to do another video like that, I'm here. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. You want to share this with a friend or somebody you think can benefit from this. Meanwhile, wishing everybody love, joy, and happiness. I appreciate your watching. I appreciate your comments, good and bad. And I want to thank everybody for watching this very long video, and I hope someone benefits from it. All right. Bye now.